Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm just gonna dive into Bitcoin update for Sunday, 13th of February. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, right? Okay, cool. Monday. So please join me into the Discord and join me here because this is where you're not gonna miss these updates for Bitcoin as well. So today it's time to get my hands dirty once again and let's try to figure out what the hell is going on with Bitcoin. Now, yesterday I did post a video that you have a double top that is going to actually bring Bitcoin down to the ground from the top here to the bottom, just like that. And this is where you broke out of the neckline and then you went down all of a sudden. Yesterday, yes, I did see a green candle that actually shifted to the upside. Do you understand that? This is the green candle that you saw, and to me this was only a lollipop being given to the new investors. They love the green candles. They see the pump, they want to get the pump. They see the red, they fear the red. Now this pump was nothing else than to go down. But today's update, you're going to learn a lot of stuff, a lot of new improvements to your trading game as well. So I'm actually going to be trying to actually put out a update that is going to make sense. And in here in this channel, we don't do anything biased. We don't do anything based on opinions. We do everything based on what the chart's telling us. So I'm going to actually try to read all the hints and the clues and what the chart is actually giving us. So at this point of time, guys, there are some various things to talk about that tells me what I understand from what Bitcoin is trying to tell me and the charts. There could be a swerve of a bull trap, and it could be a swerve that no one is expecting, because right now, of course, based on the market psychology, everyone knows that Bitcoin is pumping to the upside, so no one is actually ready for that time to actually go down. Now here we are, people still think that this is a good pump to the upside. No, unless you don't meet the technical target. Once again, the top to the bottom of a double top, unless you don't go to the technical target, which is nearly $40,400, you don't actually quit. And what happened here is absolutely right to the plan. When you break out of a double top like this, you go down, you go up, back test the neckline, and then you go down. That's the kiss of death right there. So everything is going according to the plan. You haven't crossed the resistance. You just went up to backtest the resistance to fail and then go down. Let's go to Google. Let's open up double top pattern. And from here, I'm going to open up the images. So here we are with the images, guys. What I want you to see is the neckline. I actually want to show a good, something like this one. You can already see in this image you had that double top. You went to the downside. Look, you were given that green candle, the blue candle. You went up. That's the same as just this candle that you were given yesterday. This one right there for you to enter. But this is just a back test to fail and then go to the downside. So the plan is this one is what you're looking for next. From there, you go down. Now here it's already logical. And that's the first clue that we already got. Now here we are, let's go into the daily. And once I'm into the daily right now, I'm actually going to turn on the EMAs and look at these EMAs. We are already below the 55 EMA. And the one thing that I want to tell you about the EMAs is that you cannot predict the whole market based on an EMA. All right, you cannot predict, because these lines that you see, they are lagging indicators. That means that when the prices are going up, the lagging indicators follow later. For example, after the prices moved, then the indicators move. When they go down, then the indicators move. Do you understand that? The indicators don't move first, then the price later. They lag behind. They have a delay. So whatever the price is doing, that's when the EMAs are moving. And people like to actually think that the EMA is every solution to their problem. No, it's not. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is a doji. So here we are, and this is a doji, my friend. What you see right there, this candlestick is a doji after you've made several red candles. So a doji, I'm gonna tell you, they are undecisive. Okay, they don't have a decision, because this candlestick does tell us that neither the sellers were interested to push the price to the downside, neither the buyers were interested to step in and push the prices to the upside. So the next candle, this one today, which has 20 more hours to actually close. If you do go back up, listen to this carefully, you go back up to 43,044, you are breaking this neckline of the double top. That's a bullish sign. That's a sign based on candlestick reading that the buyers are now stepping in. They're interested to push the price to the upside. Not only are you crossing this neckline, but you're putting in a morning star. Simple put. And when you see a morning star after some red candles, that means that now we're interested to move to the upside. Today's candlestick is so important that it sets the tone for what is going to happen in the future. Today's candlestick, yes, Sunday's candlestick. So 20 more hours to actually understand where we're going to go. And I'm going to tell you some things that tells me that the market is going to dump next week. I do think so. Now that's my own thinking, and unless it doesn't happen, we're going to talk about it. But at this time, that's just speculation, not a final decision, because I'm going to tell you within these bearish sentiments how bullish sentiments can be formed. So here we are. This candlestick takes you to a technical target of nearly that $40,400. So yes, potentially you could bounce off here and make a right shoulder. That's an inverse head and shoulder. Left shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder. But there's one more problem. Not so fast, because this is just us thinking that it's going to do that. So don't actually listen to your own idea unless there's a confirmation. Yes, you can actually just predict the future, but it still doesn't mean that just because you said it could be a right shoulder, it's going to be a right shoulder. This can take you all the way down as well. Don't be biased on the direction of the market, okay? So let's go into the weekly. Here is the weekly, and if today you close near this area, my friend, you're putting in something known as a shooting star. Simple. Have you ever seen a hammer? Hammer looks like this. Now the opposite side, upside down part of the hammer is a shooting star, which is this one. So if you do go today down to 40,400 level, based on candlestick reading, this is not a positive sign. And one more thing, I'm going to turn on the 55 EMA. Then that means all Bitcoin did was go up, make people interested to buy, and look how you're being rejected by the 55, by the 10, by the 20. And as long as you're below the 55, there's always an alarming situation that you can always go down to the bear market. Once you lose the 55 from the weekly, that's a cheat sheet. Anytime you did that, you actually went down to the bear market. And that's just something that I've seen personally. Just because I say it doesn't mean that it can happen once again. So let's go to Google once again, and I'm actually going to show you shooting star candlestick. So here we have the shooting star candlestick, and it's going to be something like this one. So let's go up here, and this is something you're going to be putting something very similar to this. Once you go down to that 40,500 region, then you're going to be putting a shooting star. And once you see that one, look what happens next. The next candle, red, 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 red. It means the downfall can continue to the upside, to the downside, of course. Now, this one is on the weekly time frame. I want to actually dive into the monthly time frame, and I want to actually take some hints from altcoins as well. So here we are. And do you remember that 3 black crows that I talk about? Yes, the 3 black crows are still in play. They haven't been invalidated. The only way to invalidate these 3 black crows is when you see Bitcoin actually go up to nearly $47,000. That's when you're actually invalidating it. You're pushing the prices to the upside and making something known as a bullish engulfing candle, and then from there actually the reverse and the uptrend is going to continue, and that's a very strong sign that it's okay. But I want to show you the 3 black crows and how I think that the 3 black crows is actually being respected. So here we are, 3 black crows, and I'm going to open up that image. So here we have the 3 black crows, and this is what I want to show you. There's something very tiny that has to be discussed, and you can see when you have 1 candle, 2nd candle, 3rd candle, 3 black crows, Do you see this green? Notice the green candle that says that you actually go a little bit up to this level, and then from there you go down. Just notice how Bitcoin made that 3 black crows and that green arrow to the upside, potentially to go to the downside. It is going according to the plan. Everything is just working out based on a candlestick reading. And this is a proof, okay? Here's every proof that potentially March we might dump once again, okay? This is something that actually hasn't been invalidated, and it's actually in play. It is in play. It is logical. And now let's take one clue from Luna, and I want to show you Luna to USDT. Here we are with the Luna. We have a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly. That's an issue. You have this red candle, green and the red candle, and that's a bearish engulfing candle. Number one. Number two, let's dive into the daily. The daily time frame has a head and shoulder that actually has never ever met the target. This was your left shoulder, this was your head, this is your right shoulder. Simple put. Now I'm already on the log scale, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this top to the bottom. This is your neckline where you broke out of, and look where your technical target is. Nearly $27, $27.12. All right, let me actually turn on the log scale. All right, so that was the log scale. I just turned that off, and let me actually redo this again with you. So from the top here to the bottom right there, this one from there to there. Now this one, looks where it takes you to the $38. If I turn off the log scale once again, then where are you going to be taken down to? You're going to be taken down to $28. That's where you're going to actually find some level of support right here. This is where the demand zone lies for Luna as well, because it doesn't make sense to me to come down to the 38. Who knows? Yes, you could come to $38 and find support there, but when you turn off the log scale, it means that there's a big drop coming in. And from the price here, from the price that we are talking, that's like 50% or 49% drop. And this is in play, as a matter of fact. This head and shoulder pattern is in play unless you don't go and break this neckline. If you don't go up, I'm going to show you, if you don't go actually to the upside, break the neckline, you haven't invalidated it just yet. So the bearish patterns are still there, and they're giving us signs that it's not a good idea to keep high hopes that Bitcoin can go up, because only Bitcoin can go down and then Luna can go down. So this pattern might be a precursor that the market is fishy and it's gonna dump, right? So there's one more hint as well on the 4-hour time frame. So here we are, and look at this 4-hour time frame. We do have a head and shoulder, tiny head and shoulder just there. So you have this left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, right? You broke the neckline, and now you're coming back to retest that neckline, and you take the top to the bottom right there, and this is where you broke out, and this is where your next technical target lies, $47. And it is a technical target that has to be met, hasn't been met, and you haven't broken the neckline. You are kissing the neckline. Look, probably you just came up to kiss the neckline goodbye and go to the downside. It is what it is, because they actually give you green candles to get you excited and then dump you to the downside. There's one more altcoin called as Ethereum, the king of altcoins, okay? So here we are with Ethereum right now, and I don't trust this kind of movement to the upside. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you one more pattern that is playing out for Ethereum. So here we are, a trend line that I want to show you that got lost. So this is your trend line right there. Do you see this? That's your trend line. You lost this trend line, and the only thing you're doing is you have this one touch, second touch, third touch. When you came up down here, you've lost the trend line, and look, you are kissing the trend line goodbye potentially to dump to the downside. So you're getting all the clues that next week is potentially gonna be red. And that's an issue. And if you don't really believe in trend lines, let me show you Bitcoin and the past history of Bitcoin. What I'm going to do is open up Bitcoin into the FIMIX chart, because that's way more clear at this point of time. So here we are with the FIMIX. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into the daily time frame, and I want to actually tell you the importance of a trend line, because people take it way more easy. They don't. Let's go back to time nearly this place, 6th of September. So what I'm going to do is go to the replay, and I'm going to actually double click this one to hide the later candle. So now we're back in time on September right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a trend line that was respected by Bitcoin for a long time. So here we are, and this is your trend line right there. And what did you do? You had this one touch right there, this one touch, just like Ethereum did. And then what happened? Next candles, boom, to the downside. You lost the trend line. And then what happened? You went a little bit down, 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 just like this. And then you went up, up, up. And this is what happened. Just exactly what I'm telling you. You lose the trend line, you are going to go a little bit up, and then boom, you go to the downside. There's one more thing about the trend line. I'm going to show you FTM as well. Yeah, so here we are with the FTM, and FTM has also lost the trend line. You had this touch right here, this touch right there, boom, you broke to the downside, and you're looking to continue. But this is not the main example that I want to show you about trend line is this one. A very, very good example of how trend line are very important. That's why I say when you lose support, don't support the coin, because look at this one. I'm actually going to go back to the replay and show you back in time when we were in October. So this was an uptrend of FTM. You went, touched this trend line, touched this trend line, touched the trend line, went up, touched the trend line, you went up, touched the trend line again, you went up, right? Now, I'm actually gonna zoom in and look at this one and what happened next in this uptrend. Okay, so here we are. We became very overextended, and we actually fall a little bit back to the trend line to continue to the upside. Now I'm gonna play the later candles, and then you went boom, 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 boom. Now you lost the trend line for the first time. Clear loss of trend line, and that means that you don't support the coin anymore, because previously in the history you never ever actually lost the trend line. Pretty simple, right? So then again, what happened is that this trend line just took us by storm. So what happened next? The candle went up for the retest. Look, you just continued up, but it actually went back up to the trend line. It never go above the trend line. Do you understand that? So they were giving you these green candles to get you more excited. So people thought, okay, went down, let's buy back again. But what they didn't notice is that the trend line was broken, and this was just a retest of it. And then you made a big double top once again, and then you broke the neckline. If I was back in time, I could have told you the same scenario like Bitcoin, that is gonna go to the downside just like that, and this went to 1.9 from 2.5. So let's see what happened. You went down, 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 boom, absolutely right on the money. Do you see that? So this is just how candlestick reading works, and that tells me a lot about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin can actually suffer the consequences. Who knows? But right now it's a big question mark of losing $39,000, and the way the coins are losing their trend line. This is your trend line, and Bitcoin has a structure. Yes, the only structure that hasn't been lost is for Bitcoin. So you might see it go down here, touch this trend line, or God knows, or God forbid, that you actually go down and lose the trend line to 38,000, backtest 39,000, and then that is a downtrend that is actually continuing. And yes, this time if you do go down like this, you're probably now even possibly gonna go to the $29,000 and stop there, find support at that place, and then we're gonna talk about this one in the next one. So I hope this video is something you enjoyed. You learned some new stuff as well, and it's very overextended. So I'm gonna end it up here. That's the only update that I want to bring, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.